Hi there, this is a video tutorial for probably the most famous folk song of all time. This is Bob Dylan's Blowin' in the Wind, and we are going to play it in the key of A. So let's take a quick zoom in to make sure we know what chords we're dealing with. All right, Blowin' in the Wind is in the key of A, and so to make my A chord, I'm going to place my pointer finger here on the first fret of the C string, and then I'm going to reach my middle finger over to the second fret on G there. That's my A. I'm going to go back and forth between A and D, and so D is going to be played with 1, 2, 3 fingers. If you notice, I kind of shifted my wrist up a little bit to get all my fingers there, all on the second fret of G, C, and E. However, if you're going back and forth between A and D, you can also play it with your third, fourth, and fifth finger here, just a matter of personal comfort. When you get to the E7 chord, I kind of like going to E7 from D this way, because what's going to happen is I'm going to need to place my pointer finger here on the first fret of G. I leave my middle finger where it is, and then I tuck my ring finger back to the second fret of the A string. Again, it's totally up to you what your preference is. Here's what E7 looks like. Just like with the D, I kind of shift my wrist up a little bit. I try not to bring my elbow with it too much, right? But just a slight shift of the wrist to make it a little bit more comfortable for those fingers. All right, and for strumming, because there are so many lyrics in this song, and the lyrics are quite important, we're going to take kind of a sparse approach to our strumming, and we're just going to play a standard strum pattern since it is standard time, like a down, down, up, down, but we're going to leave one of the down, up, downs out, just to kind of give it some space. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so it'll be down, 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 up, down, leave it space, down, down, up, down, just like that. All right, and as always, we also want to take a quick preview and look at the patterns that we have to work with. What's really nice is, like most beloved folk songs, the patterns are pretty simple for this one, so it really gives room for the lyrics to shine. The verse is made up of 3 lines of the same pattern. It starts with A, then it goes to D, then it goes back to A. That's sort of like the first half group, right? And then we start on A again, then go to D, but this time end on E7. And it kind of ends in this sort of this kind of musical question, if you will. Then it goes back, repeats the whole thing again. A to D, and then back to A, and A again. Here comes the second half. Now A to D and E7, just like the first line. We'll do it one more time. A, 1, 2, 3 to D, 1, 2, 3, back to A. More A here, 1, 2, 3 to D, and then to E7. Now we go to the chorus. This is where the pattern changes a little bit. Back to D, then to E7, then down to A. And that same thing over again. We go from D to E7 and back to A. Great. So you've got all the patterns you need. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Okay, here we go. Blowin' in the Wind. We're starting on A. Let's warm up with that strum pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Verse 1. on this A chord as long as you need to get ready for the next verse. Here comes verse 2. And how many years must a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? Back to A. How many years can some people exist before D they're allowed E7 to be free? And one more time, back to A. How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? Back to the chorus. The answer, my friends, A is blowing in the wind. Whole thing again. The answer is blowing in the wind. Nice. We've got one more verse to go. Here we go. And how many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? Back to A. How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? Back to A. And how many deaths will it take? Still he knows that too many people have died. Chorus. D. The answer, E7, my friend. A is blowing in the wind. Back to D. The answer is blowing in the wind. Try that chorus one more time. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And end on A. There you go. One of the most famous folk songs ever. What's wonderful is it's so accessible, it's so practicable. You've just got those 2 patterns to memorize, and then you're ready for a campfire. Please enjoy this video as often as you need to for your practice, and have a great time playing out there.